Ow, oh my God. Oh my God, my wrist, my elbow hurts. Guys, today we're going to go over some tips and causes and tricks to help make sure that you do not get pain in your elbow or in your wrist, okay? Let's start out with the reason why many people get pain with their elbows and in their wrist on court, okay? It's because what? You guys just saw me do it. It's because you guys are holding the racket way too tight, all right? What do we think? The ball's coming to us. What do? We tense up, right? We try to hit that ball. We get excited, death grip. You're wearing away your wrist. You're wearing away your elbow. You're hurting your elbow, and you just swing at it super hard, okay? Not only you're going to be inconsistent, but you're going to get pain, right? The number one cause to pain in your arm, elbow, wrist is due to your racket being too tight. Guys, you guys have to make sure that your racket is loose when you hit, right? You guys have got to make sure the racket is working for you. You're not working for your racket. You have to gain control. In tennis, to gain control, you have to give up control, right? You have to let that racket go. The more you let the racket go, the less pain you will experience, all right? Getting on top of that, right? The next thing is because players are not following through. Players are slamming the brakes. They're trying to get the ball in, and they stop their swing. Same thing for the one-hander or even the two-hander as well. So they're going to stop their swing. Guys, when you stop your swing, you're causing tension on, again, your elbow and your wrist. So you guys have to follow through. So guys, you guys need to make sure you're loose and make sure that you're following through. For the forehand, elbow up. For the backhand, two hands, both elbows. For the one-handed, point the racket, right? Guys, so again, make sure that you're loose and you're following through. You guys will have less elbow and wrist pain, okay? One thing for the one-handers, shout out to all my one-handers, okay? What they're doing and why they experience more wrist pain for this is because when they hit, they try to turn their wrist, okay? Also for forehands as well. So a lot of people, when they try to hit, well, actually, we'll not just go with one-handers. We'll go with everyone. When they hit, they try to turn their wrist. So they go like this. They try to come around the ball. For the one-hander, they come around the ball this way. Or for the two-hander, they come around. They try to bend their wrist sideways to hit the ball. Guys, you cannot be doing that. It's going to, again, it's going to hurt your wrist. When you guys think of a clock, 12 o'clock here, 6 o'clock here, in tennis, what? You want to swing from 6 to 12. You want to make sure that you're going low to high. If you're moving your wrist this way, you're coming from 3 to 9 o'clock. That's not going to work. So let me demonstrate and show you guys. So a lot of players, they go like this. They turn their wrist when they're hitting, or the one-hander or two-hander as well. So they're turning their wrist, right? That's going to hurt my wrist. I need to make sure that instead of going to the side, I'm going from low to high. Once again, I'm going from low to high. I'm lifting the ball up in the air instead of coming around it, right? If you guys can do that, again, you guys won't feel as much pain in your wrist, okay? So now let's get up to the net for volleys, okay? So for the volleys, you do want to be a little bit more firm, right? But here's a big reason or a big cause to why I see a lot of players have wrist pain on their volleys, right? When they hit this backhand volley, what they do is that they come around. They try to do this with their volley. Or for the forehand, they try to go like this. Guys, you guys need to make sure that you're going forward. If you guys have that problem, an easy way to eliminate it is just think knuckles forward. So for my backhand, I'm pushing my knuckles forward, right? My racket's never going this way. My knuckles are now facing back. So when I hit that backhand volley, my knuckles are facing forward, right? Forehand volley, not the same thing, but my palm is forward, right? If I go like this, what? My knuckles. So for the backhand volley, you want to think your knuckles forward. It'll keep your racket in the right position. For the forehand volley, you want to think your palm forward, okay? Because if you go like this or this, your knuckles or your palm is not going to be facing forward. That is, again, going to eliminate that wrist pain of you coming down. Just go forward every single time. Knuckles forward, palm forward. Again, you guys will experience less wrist pain, okay? So just to review, what did we go over so far? Number one, you can't have a death grip on the racket, right? You guys do not want to be super tight. You want to be loose. You want to make sure that that racket is working for you. You're not working for the racket. Number two, you guys have to make sure that you guys are following through every single time, okay? Full swing over the shoulder, okay? Number three, you guys got to think that you guys are not coming around the ball from 3 to 9. You guys got to think that you're going low to high from 6 to 12. If we can go more low to high than come around the ball, again, you're not going to get as much wear and tear on your wrist or your elbow, okay? Next thing, okay, I have so many players that come to me, they're doing the right technique, they're learning, and what? They say, Tyler, my wrist, my elbow hurts. I say, okay, John, when did you last get your racket restrung? And John, if you're watching this, I'm not talking about you, man. I'm talking about, I just made up another John. But they say, okay, hey, 6 months, 12 months ago, 3 years, I've never got my racket restrung. Guys, you guys need to make sure that you're restringing your rackets frequently, right? The longer the time goes by, the less tension that your strings are going to have, which means it's going to get more bendy, right? It's going to lose tension. It's going to start vibrating more, okay? The more it vibrates, the more you're going to, again, you're going to feel it in your arm. So guys, you guys need to make sure that you're getting your rackets restrung. I'm not an equipment expert, but guys, make sure you just go to your local tennis shop and you get something. Again, you want to say, hey, I want something that's elbow and arm friendly. There's different strings for that, okay? The next thing that you guys want to be focusing on, okay? Make sure you have an up-to-date racket. Guys, don't just get a racket out of your garage, okay? It's not going to help your game, especially if you're trying to learn. It's not going to help you. And again, it vibrates too much. You need to get an up-to-date racket. The way the rackets absorb the vibration is way better than some racket in a garage. It's super old strings, super old racket. It's just going to vibrate and again, hurt your elbow. So I would highly recommend, once again, purchasing new strings and a new racket, okay? On top of that, with equipment recommendations, okay? You guys should make sure that you have a good grip. So if you ever have trouble and you're like, I'm trying to grip it loose, but it's just still too tight, right? I'm trying to grip the racket really loose, Tyler, but I still just hold it super tight. Guys, invest in an over grip, okay? A lot of players, they have a super worn out grip that the racket slips in their hand, right? It's getting sweaty. So if you guys get a new over grip, you guys are going to get a more firm grip on the racket. The racket's not going to slip out. So in return, you're going to be able to grip the racket looser, okay? So just to review, this is our equipment segment of this video. We want a new racket. You guys want a user-friendly racket, right? Not some racket out of the garage, not a wooden racket. You guys want to make sure you're getting your strings redone. If you haven't gotten your strings redone, please pause this video, look up tennis stores near me, get your racket restrung. It's going to help your arm, and also you're going to see such a drastic improvement in your game, okay? Just so you guys know, with tension, the higher you string the racket, it's in pounds, at least in the US, the more control you get, but the less power. The lower you string your racket, the more power you get, but less control. So I would recommend, if you ever have elbow problem, I have a client or a guy that strings all my rackets for all my clients. We string them around 52 or 53 pounds. But again, consult your local tennis store. The next thing, guys, and I'm not, again, I'm not an orthopedic, I'm not a physical therapist, but these movements, they work for me. They've worked for my whole tennis career. It's the reason why I can coach all the time. Guys, make sure you guys are warming up your wrists, all right? So great stretches that I like to use is, number one, I put my palm out and I'm going to just pull back on my fingers, okay? And I'm going to do this for 20 seconds, okay? Then once I'm done that, I'm going to point my knuckles forward and pull back my fingers. This is going to get the top of my wrist, all right? I'm going to do that for 20 seconds. Then once I'm done, I'm going to get my hands, I'm going to cup them together, and I'm just going to roll them around clockwise. And then once I'm done that, I'm going to roll them the other way, counterclockwise, all right? I can also go outstretch my fingers, okay? You can do back and forth. You could get a resistance band and go back and forth, okay? Guys, you guys gotta make sure that you're warming up your wrists, okay? Also, once you're done, if you guys are experiencing a little bit of pain or tightness, once you're done, make sure you're stretching your wrists. Once you're done your hitting session, make sure you guys are icing, okay? Make sure you guys are resting. So again, there's ways that we can improve or lessen the amount of pain we get with our elbow and our wrist by having the proper technique. Not swinging from 3 to 9, swinging from low to high, holding the racket looser and making sure we're following through. Then there's things we can do with our equipment, right? We can get our rackets restrung, have a more up-to-date racket, have a good grip. And then there's things that we can do in warm-up, right? In preparation, and once we're done tennis, right, is what? Stretching, icing, and things like that, all right? So guys, if you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below. I hope this helped, okay? I've been getting a ton of messages on Instagram. Tyler, my wrist hurts. How do I stop that? Tyler, my elbow hurts. Why is this happening? Guys, try these. I'm telling you, it's going to make a big difference. Once again, if you guys haven't gotten your racket restrung, please stop this video right now and go get your racket restrung. Google tennis stores near me, guys. Have a good one, everyone, and happy hitting. See ya.